Oops. All right. Good morning, members and friends of the Church of the Angels. Church is an independent, non-denominational, interfaith spiritualist assembly, and all who gather here are valued for their unique qualities. My name is Reverend Jenny Vinecourt. I am your facilitator today. We'll spend about an hour together with some prayer, some sharing, and some song. You may join us today with just your audio if you choose. You don't have to use your video option. The service is being recorded so that we can help more folks connect up with us. So if you don't want to be on the recording, if your video only shows up if you're speaking. So keep that in mind if you don't want to be on the recording. Bobby is not here with us today, but I do have some music picked out. And during the sharing portion of the service, if you want me to call on you, or if you have a comment or a question, raise your hand up. There is a raise hand function there somewhere, or you can just wave or use the chat function, and that way I can get you unmuted, or you can unmute yourself so that you can get your comment or question in. I also want to mention that if you wish to make a donation, you can do so through the church's website, which is www.thechurchoftheangels.net. And you will have the opportunity at that time to make that donation a recurring one if you choose. And I want to give a big thank you to all those who have donated so far to help us keep going through all of this stuff. So please join me in our opening prayer. Mother, Father, Infinite Spirit, thank you for your blessings on those here joining us today to honor your work and experience your grace and wisdom. Thank you for providing the appropriate thoughts, insights, actions, and all resources for us to gain a better and truer understanding of your love by the word spoken and the healing brought forth here today so that we might lead healthy, happy, and prosperous lives. Thank you for showing us the way to accept responsibility for our lives. We are grateful to know that you are with us always. So be it. And now, if I've asked Dean Franklin to read our statement of principles. Dean, are you here?
Yes, good morning.
There you are. Good morning. Thank you.
There is one creative force of which all life is a part. This one creative force is known by many names and manifestations. We recognize and honor the many names and manifestations of the one creative force, the source of all creation, one in God. The energy of life everywhere is continuous. All consciousness is continuous. Communication is continuous. The energy of life, consciousness, and communication never cease, even after the event that is perceived as death. One creates one's own reality. One creates in the harmony with the one creative force, the great power of God, of which all life is a part. Reality is as one chooses to perceive and will change as one grows in the knowledge of the inner self and one's relationship with the God of his understanding. All things are possible with faith, insight, knowledge, understanding, acceptance, and love. Love is the unifying energy of the universe. Love is the energy of the one creative force, the wisdom of God. All life and all mankind are one in the creatorship and healing force of love and with each other. Love is within us and of us. Love is never apart from us. It is we who separate ourselves from the power of love. The force of God works through love and love alone.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you very much. And now we'll have a few moments of quiet meditation so that we can concentrate on going within to find the peace and calm and healing for ourselves and for the world. Take a few deep breaths. Focus on that breathing. Breathe slow and even. Settle into the sounds to find that peace and calm. Take your time. Come back to the present. Take a deep breath. Remember that we are always connected to the divine. All right, where's the stop button? There we go. We are always connected to the divine. And use this peace and calm to take care of yourselves and each other, all those around you in your communities and throughout the world in whatever way that you can. Now, please, either silently or aloud, add the names of those you wish to include in the healing energy. All right, thank you. And now, we had a request for this song from Judy, who is our speaker today. And I don't believe I have the actual Beatles rendition of it, but we do have the song. So here we go.
need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. There's nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. No way you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. 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 Love is all.
All right. Awesome. Now it's time for inspiration and thought exchange brought to us by today's speaker. We do invite everyone to address the assembly with words of inspiration, lessons learned, or passionate ideas. And today our speaker is Judy Naran. Judy's mission is to help others love themselves more deeply and to shine their light. Judy has been on a spiritual path since she was a young girl and has studied many different religions. She began on her spiritual path and self-development in the 70s and earned certification in several modalities of hypnotherapy, energy healing, behavior analysis, and intrinsic values. After leaving the corporate world, she coached CEO and executive teams for a decade and then became publisher of the Women's Journal magazine that we all know, where she helped others shine their light and connected her readers to the best local resources. In 2006, she was given a deadly cancer diagnosis, which renewed her dedication to her spiritual path and self-development. And this led her to the Sedona method, where she discovered that loving unconditionally is the purpose of our human experience. And with that, I'm going to ask her to unmute herself, and I give you Judy Naran.
Well, thank you, Reverend Cindy. I so appreciate that. Yeah, I was trying to adjust my monitor, but I guess I'll just let that go. Not going to work right now. But, you know, when I think of what you said, the thing that comes to my mind is, you know, the song we had was All You Love. There was actually another one that I would have, that I wanted, because what I've come to understand is all we are is love. You know, we are love. Even science validates it in many ways. When you go into quantum physics, we are more empty space. Aha, what is that? They don't know. Than we are anything else in our physical beings. So, you know, when I had that, I've always been on a spiritual path, and yet I was living these two lives. One, the corporate, the business, the achievement, the always wanting to prove that I was lovable and worthwhile through this, and trying to gain security through success. And in the process, you know, I am grateful I opened up a lot of doors for other women in different fields. And yet, on this other side, always continuously with spiritual development. But falling off the wagon, so to speak, a lot. And usually those, I call them the dark night of the souls, that help get me back on the path. And some of you may relate to that. And so one of my, so when that particular one happened, what also happened was my relationship was starting to crumble, because you see, we're living together, working together, and then going through this altered, I call it Alice's rabbit hole, only there ain't no bunnies. And, you know, it certainly is an altered reality very quickly. And so after I finished treatment of various sorts, we went to a place called Sedona, the Sedona method. And I found that by happy accident. Some of you may think, well, there's no such thing. And in 2006, out of desperation to break the horrible cycle our relationship was in through all the stress and trauma, and because I knew at the heart of all disease, in my experience, is really a disconnection of the soul to the source. So the only one that was available at the time frame that we could take a break from the magazine was the Sedona method. And so there we were off, and we went. And that, I remember Hale, when I got up there, so traumatized, and Hale Dwoskin, who was teaching the course, you know, was there to support me, and I'm up there. I know I have the one right now, this elegant diagnosis. They only gave me a short time to live after all. And no, that didn't really scare me much. That wasn't what scared me. It was really the other torture that my body would go through and that I might be left with through the treatments. But, you know, I was traumatized. As the tears are coming down my face, and all right, I'm going to give you this one, you know. And he looked at me with a smile, and he didn't laugh, but he smiled. And then he went to me. He says, "Oh, so you had this elegant diagnosis." Well, I was identified with it, and what he helped me see is that had nothing to do with the truth. And in a moment's notice, I could just be with that and start to change my whole focus with loving everything and appreciating everything. So those pills I was taking to try to heal that I resented, the prescriptions that I never said I would be on, I saw them with appreciation and love. And so I started looking to love everything. Now, sometimes I didn't, sometimes I didn't. And my partner and I were still like this with each other, hooked into identification, right and wrong, good and bad, you know. Oh, you know, the thing with there's one pointing this way, there's three pointing back. Oh my goodness. I try to live in that, but sometimes not. It always pays off when I can't, always. And so by the time we finished it, we were rebonded, and that was released. And it helped me start to view everything with a new vision. And no matter what the thing that I might judge good or that we might judge bad is all beautiful. That bad, the thing we might label bad or good, is all beautiful. And we're here to learn to love it all, because it's only the identification of what I was making it mean. I thought it had something to do with me or who I was, right? Sometimes when we're on this spiritual journey, it's kind of like everything happens for a reason. Well, I must really be messed up as a person, because look at what happened to me. I was identified with it, that's for sure. And as I'm not saying there was anything easy about that process, but through the years, I continued since 2006 to always come back and practice, falling completely on the ground, hitting many dark nights of the soul, and coming out of it. And so our relationship came and went in terms of we worked together, lived together, and we're a lot of togetherness. I was always a loner, so it's quite, but I also learned that, and I believed that relationship is our greatest opportunity for growth. That is a great mirror to be able to see where we're not loving ourselves and where we're identified with that which is not us. And that we're making it mean something. So as I continued that, I mean, if anybody's read the book, by Michael Singer, Untethered Soul. He used to say, oh, when something would just trigger him and his buttons, he'd go, oh, great, another thorn that I get to pull out. So that was the part of the journey. So our relationship had gotten, at best, we were at best like roommates, and almost disdain, and sometimes almost disdain, just kind of annoying. We're in the drudgery of life. We were existing together. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good. It was a connection. It was the missing connection, that thing that brought us together. And so as we talk about this thing called unconditional love, our minds really can't fully conceive it, as we can't fully conceive eternity or those things that are so intangible, but probably the most powerful, truthful things there are. And let's see, back on track. So I went, I don't want to exist like this. And I remember where most of my dark nights of the soul come into awareness, and I find myself on my knees praying or opening my heart. And I had one of those in the bedroom, standing there. I know the spot I was even standing as I thought about it. You know, my mind raced all the wrongness that he was. You know, I wanted to go into control, approval, all that rightness. And I went, you know, that's not it. You know, that's not it. So what is it that you really believe in? If we're here to learn how to love unconditional, if we really believe, do you really believe that? I don't know. You know, I don't know. This is my conversation. I don't know. Yeah, I do. No, I don't. Hooey. And then I went, no, I really do. I really do believe that. So I said, okay, here we go. And then it was very clear to me. It was just clear. That's what the practice I was going to do, because my grandkids woke that back up in me. They, you know, when you see these little ones, and it could be a baby, a child, a dog, anything that might have you had that complete feeling of unconditional love. It might have been a meditation, whatever it is for you. When every time we saw each other, we came in contact, we got excited. There was this pure love that was poured back and forth unconditionally. It didn't matter. And so I thought that feeling, that same energy, that same feeling was there in the beginning with our relationship. So that's what I'm going to unconditionally love. 1 year's commitment, absolutely. There's only one thing that I'm always going to use as my tethered soul is unconditional love. So every time he walked into a room, I got up and went over to hug him. And he looked at me, he got a little annoyed by it. I sometimes tried to brush me off, but you know, sometimes he would tolerate it. And this continued when he entered the door, and it continued. And he was still, he was tolerating it a little bit longer. The connection maybe went a little bit longer. It didn't matter what he did or said, how hurt I thought I was, because that's only identification. It has nothing to do with truth. I had to keep remembering that. And so I just simply, you know, even if we had a horrible morning somehow, missing the point with each other, I always return to use that as a guiding post. And about 6 months, about 6 months into it, what I noticed was he was equally coming to me, waiting for that hug, coming up and looking for it, or that connection, you know, that energy that was lingering longer. It felt more real, more connected. And so at the end of the year, so this went on deeper and deeper and more mutual. And at the end of the year, I asked him if he noticed, because of course I never told him that was what I was doing. And I said, did you notice? And he said, yeah, I did. He said, it made me feel like everything was going to be okay. And everything was going to be okay. That connection, when we have those connections, they can so supersede And I'm not suggesting that through that life, you know, everything was running perfect and we didn't have challenges or challenges or fears or any of those things. All of those things were still there. You know, the uncertainty of the times and of the security that we're all craving in some way. But everything was going to be okay. And so since then, we've remained. We continue to do that. Moments where I may get caught up in the moment of working or doing, because see, when you're in an office, you don't get up and hug somebody, right? And after all, we're working partners. But first and foremost is the love and the connection. And so when I catch myself getting caught up in the doing this of whatever it is, it is so now as a guiding post ingrained, get up and do that. So I invite you to see wherever you might be able to love. I wanted to share one other thing. When we talk about love is all there is in healing, and the church is so about that. Everybody here I know really at some level is all about that. Wayne Dyer, I enjoyed meeting him so much, but he talks about his daughter, a time when she was somewhere around maybe 8, 10, I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. And she had these bumps, this rash all over her face. They were uncomfortable. They looked horrible. And they took her to the doctor a few times and did diagnosis. And he says, I don't know what's causing them exactly. He says, but I do have a treatment. But here it's going to be, might be painful, take some time for recovery. But we do have a treatment to get rid of those bumps. And so when they got home, they talked about it, and she was going, I don't really think I want to do that. And so she remembered about loving everything, right? So that night she went to bed and she pulled the covers up over her head and she just talked to the bumps, that wonderful Hawaiian prayer, right? I love you, bumps. Thank you, bumps. But I don't need you anymore. You can go. I've set you free. And she did that over and over and over again. Maybe it was 10, 15, 20 minutes until she finally fell asleep. And she woke up in the morning and she went, oh, wait a minute. She checked. She couldn't feel the bumps. So she jumped up and looked in a mirror and the bumps were completely gone. Ran in and, Mommy, Daddy, the bumps are gone. She loved them away. So love is so when we can identify with this human experience and we return to that truth of who we are, it's amazing what can happen and come out of that. So I don't know how I am on time, Reverend Jenny, but I'd love to share just a short little meditation. Okay, great. So I'm going to invite everybody to join me. And the first thing, as Reverend Jenny did so well in leading that meditation that we had, the breathing, I'd like to start with the breathing because life starts with breathing and life ends when there is no breath left. So we're going to take it deep. We're going to relax our shoulders and allow the breath to come in deeply all the way into our belly. And then release it completely. And one more. And now with more and more ease, more gentleness. Gently, gently, gently. And now we're together as if there was a golden cord from my voice to your ear, connecting with that beautiful golden connection. I'm going to count from 10 to 1. And as we go through the meditation, 10, Feeling relaxed, at ease, breathing deeply and rhythmically. 9, feeling even more relaxed and more at ease. Noticing our bodies start to release the tension and the thoughts and the feelings that got stuck somewhere along the way. Breathing even more deeply. 7, 6, more and more. We're going down, down, down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing deeply and rhythmically. We notice this beautiful, brilliant white light. You may feel it. It may just be a sensation. It may be awareness. And as you do, you breathe deeply and rhythmically, breathing this light in. And you start in with your head, scanning all the way down from your head, through your shoulders, your chest, your belly, your pelvis, your spine, your legs, your knees, your thighs, any tension or discomfort, maybe pain, whatever you find. I'm going to ask you to give it a moment, and could you allow it to receive some love? You don't have to know where the love is coming from, who's sending the love. Just could you allow it to receive some love? Would you allow it to receive some love? When would you allow it to receive some love? Just in this moment. And again, you just notice any thoughts, sensations, pictures that come into awareness as you feel the discomfort in your being, and allow it to receive some love. Letting go of any sense of purpose. This is about me, who I am, where else it might lead, what it is. Just breathing deeply and relaxed, allowing it to receive some love. And even more love, deeper just in this moment, even more deeply allowing it to receive some love. And now you see this beautiful golden light. It may be a thought, a picture, a sensation, an awareness. This beautiful golden light coming in through your crown, coming down through your spine, all the way down through your legs, to the tip of your toes, and back up again, all the way up through the front of the spine, through your neck, coming down your fingers, your hands, up through your crown. We then go to a lever, and we turn the lever at the crown to close, to allow that energy to continue. And at the bottom of our feet, we close the lever so that we continuously see this golden energy. We feel it, we know it's there to allow it to continue to heal, to rejuvenate, to love every cell of our being. And so it is. So now I count from 5. You're waking up, you're coming more alert, feeling better than before. 4, even better and better and better than before. 3, feeling the sensations, the body, the physical being. 2, 1, awake, alert, and feeling better than before. So I am going to turn the floor back to you, Reverend Jenny.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Judy. That was wonderful. I would like to open the floor for any comments and or questions. So I'm going to do a little bit of scanning here and look for anybody that has anything to say. And as of right now, I don't see any hands raised, but I'm still looking. Nor do I see any, wait a minute.
Deborah.
Ah, okay, back on the, I gotta flip back. There you are, go ahead, Deborah.
Judy, I just want to thank you for that. That was just wonderful. And the meditation, and just the reminder that we have to love even our imperfections, things we view as imperfection, and love them and allow them to release, you know. I've had many experiences lately that I just had to love the situation and let it go. And the minute I do, and the minute I surrender, the situation's resolved. And just, you know, it's just turning it back over to God, to which I believe love is God. And so, yeah, and then just the unconditional factor around it, that we all, you know, could use a little more love in the world for sure. So thank you for that message this morning and the meditation. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah.
Yes, Shannon, go ahead. I need you to okay, you can go ahead. Whoops. Go ahead.
Now it's off. Okay. Hi, everybody. Judy, thank you so much for that guided meditation. That was wonderful. I needed that this morning. It's just, I love how the synchronicity of everything works, because just yesterday I had a little boy at my house who lives in the neighborhood. He's 7 years old, and I've been doing guided meditations with my boys. And he was at the house, and I said, well, we do a meditation. We're trying to do one every morning. And he goes, what's meditation? And so it just tickled my heart, because I'm like, oh, okay, universe, I see what you're doing. This boy comes from a family that's really, it's a bit toxic, the environment. Anyway, it just tickled my heart, because when we did the guided meditation, he was more interested and did so much better than my boys. So he really needed it. And my boys, they're good with it, but they're so used to it with mom. You know, it's like every day. But this was completely new to this little boy. And he did really well. And I'm new to this meditation with children. I think I'm going to continue this. I think this is
they're so receptive.
Yes. And he came up to me an hour later when I was washing dishes in the kitchen, and he left the group of kids, and he came in and he said, can we do that meditation again? Because I felt so warm inside, and I love that feeling, and I want that back.
Oh, good.
And when you talked about children, your grandchildren, and how, you know, they open up your heart area, and not just you, but everybody can relate to this when you work with children, and even your own children, your grandchildren. That just reminded me of yesterday. And then when you did the guided meditation, I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to talk about this. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that. So thank you for that guided meditation, because I've been giving it and I needed one.
Yeah, I've worked with teenagers even, you know, the group that you think would be least receptive.
Yeah.
And what I found is quite the opposite. And when I teach them self-hypnosis techniques and work with them to, you know, it's amazing. I've had them come back years later and say how they've used it and how much it's helped them. Oh, wow. So it's pretty amazing. Even if they look like they're not paying attention or they really don't care, those are some of the ones that come back and let you know they valued it the most. So
oh, wow.
Children are so receptive. Mm-hmm. They don't have as many barriers, right?
Right. Yeah, they're closer to source than we are. So
well, source is within us. We just put a lot of walls up to, exactly. I guess, to get over, so we learn what true deep unconditional love is. That we are. I think we are love. This is really an illusion, right? Mm-hmm. This isn't the truth of who we are. This is a very temporary thing. I remember in Sedona, I got this was having a dark night of the soul. And that's what they say will happen often when you're doing those retreats, because whatever needs to come up will start to come up. And it was all worthless, and I was helpless, and it was I had no chance. Why was I even bothering? You know, purely I was ready to leave the world. And I certainly didn't want anybody to know how badly I felt, right? I don't, because I'm sitting next to a Japanese woman who had flown in, who didn't really speak English. Her husband did. And we got partnered up. I thought, I don't want her to know this. Well, it turns out she was having just as difficult a time as I was. We looked at each other with no words, and we both knew. And tears are streaming down our cheeks, just tears. And then as Hale led us through a meditation and a release, I had this vision of, it's more than a vision. You know, when you have that experience that is so real and pure that it's annoying. And it was this endless amount of energy. I almost think of it almost like the Milky Way. It was this brilliant surge of bright white light. And it was all of us. And it was all the lives we'd ever lived or ever thought we'd lived and never thought we would live. It was just this energy. And we were like on this energy stream to purify, you know, to keep purifying it. But it was really, that's really what it was. It was anything in that we thought the past time is our own personal construct, right? To try to navigate this world. But it was all here right now. Everything that we ever need to know or that's ever happened or will happen is all here right now. Thank you, Reverend. Sorry, tangent.
All right. All right, thank you. Are there any last comments before we move on? Is anybody seeing anything that I'm missing? Oh, Allison. Go ahead, Allison. Oh, I lost you. Oh, there you are. Go ahead and unmute yourself, hon. There you go.
I just wanted to let you know how timely this was this morning. This is literally my last 24 hours. So you were very, I mean, you know you were meant to give that message today, but it's the message I needed this morning. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. There's nothing that I love that makes me feel more connected to the source and the truth of who I am. And when you say the last 24 hours, help me understand.
I'm going through what you went through with your relationship, and yeah.
If there's any time, Allison, you want to connect directly, just for support or connection, I'm glad to do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you all. And thank you again, Judy. Thank you so much. And I believe that as you're going to be speaking with us again sometime in August, I believe, correct?
Is that when? You tell me.
I think it is. I have to look, but I think we'll have Judy again. So thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone again for a moment and give time for a little bit of announcements. First, I want to say thank you to everybody who has sent condolences on John's mom, my mother-in-law. She did pass peacefully. Thank you to all the folks who prayed for a peaceful passing, because that's exactly what she had. And so I want to thank everybody again for that. Next week is Leadership Sunday. I will be speaking. We'll be honoring those in leadership positions in the church next week. The Board of Trustees meeting has been postponed until August. So the next development circle is July 20th at 7 p.m. The next thought exchange is July 21st at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And the next meditation is July 22nd at 7 p.m. Do I have any announcements from the floor? I don't think so. Okay, all right. And now we'll move into some message work. As spiritualists, we believe that the energy of all beings is forever linked, that all of us have direct access to the love and guidance of loved ones, guides, teachers, saints, and healers and angels on the other side. And we have mediums here who have joined us today who have agreed to be of service and connect with Spirit to bring forth some messages for us. And first, I'd like to call on Reverend Shannon Williams. Will you be our first? Thank you.
Yes, I will. So I've had someone with me this morning. I don't know who this belongs to, so I'm just it's a grandmother in spirit. She identifies as African American, and she is wearing a purple satin robe, and she has glasses, and she is a grandmother. I don't know if anybody can place this at all, but she's coming in very strongly. Anybody? No. All right.
I don't see anybody identifying, but go ahead with the message, because
okay.
it will probably apply to one or more, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go, let me look around here and see what comes through. I'm getting some discomfort to the chest as well. Chest pain. I don't know if anybody can relate to this. Dean, I'm going to come to you because I've got someone coming through for Dean. Do you want a message, dear?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. Okay. You know, Dean, I feel like this person coming through is for you. And for some reason, it's really important that you identify with her wearing a purple satin robe. And you may not get this right now. Put this on the shelf and think about it. And I feel like it's going to come to you, but she's identifying as African American. And she passed away with a heart condition. And I feel she's really presenting chest discomfort. And that's the heart center, the heart chakra. And I feel like she's coming through because she's helping you in regards to that. I don't know if you can place that right now. But there's some discomfort in the heart chakra region. And she just wants you to know that she's there with you in regards to your emotion right now. Something's coming up and she doesn't want you to take it to heart. And those are her exact words. Do not take it to heart. Okay? This news that you get. Okay? She says you're expecting some news. Remember that Source is looking out for you. She's speaking really fast. Okay, she just wants me to reiterate that she's with you. Okay, it's not somebody that you knew in life, but she wants you to be open to meditating more and maybe communicate. She definitely wants you to communicate with her and listen to her. And she's on the right side. She's right by you right now. She says you have nothing to worry about. Don't think that this is, you know, like when I say heart center or heart condition, it's not, it's emotional. Okay? It's not like you're having a heart attack. She wants to clarify that. It's emotional. So hold on to that, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to leave that with you. All right, let's see if I have any more. Okay, Allison.
Hi.
Hi, dear. Do you want a message?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got two women here. Mm-hmm. Okay, on the other side coming through. Auntie wants to come through. Mm-hmm. She wants you to have more of her sense of humor right now in the way you're looking at things, okay? Mm-hmm. Very important. Because you're being influenced from so many different directions, and I'm not just talking by people, by the planets, by your environment, health, issues. You're being bombarded right now.
Yeah.
So don't make any major decisions. She wants you to liven up a little bit. She wants you to laugh. Listen to her. Mom's always there, but Auntie's really coming through.
Diane?
Yeah. Yes. I just got like a ton of flowers just piled on top of me. Mm-hmm. Okay, so again, the heart. I guess all my messages are going to have to deal with this because that's the topic today, love. So the heart center, so just lighten up. Okay? Mm-hmm. Everything's going to be all right.
Thank you.
You got a lot of support. But just remember that you're being bombarded right now from all different directions. And so it's when you're bombarded like that, you can't see clearly unless you meditate, and you really need to do it more often than you have been. Okay.
Yeah.
Without mom's laughing, without any help. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
okay. Clean slate, like, okay, you get it?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
She's such a pain.
I know. One of your boys is going to be doing this kind of work. Auntie's saying that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. And she wants you to involve him more.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she says you know who it is, so I don't need to go there. All right, I want to leave that with you because they're shutting it. Right.
I love you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. I love you.
Okay, that's all I have.
All right, thank you so much, Reverend Channing. Reverend Deborah, would you share a couple of messages with us, please?
Yes, absolutely. I actually have a few. I have one for you, Reverend Jenny.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll take it.
You have spirits just coming in saying that you've been through a lot right now and you need to really allow yourself to rest. The next few weeks, it's time for you to go within, to ground yourself, and just to let your body rest and your mind rest. And as I said body, I heard, and your mind. You just have to, and resting is doing something. Understand that, because that's where you're going to heal. And so you've had a lot of loss, a lot of pain, a lot of things happening. And it's all for a collective clearing. And then once you allow and surrender to the rest, you're going to have a big download and you'll be guided what to do next. So, and things will start opening up there too. So you'll have a lot more clarity, because right now you're just like, am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right direction? Am I even keeping this on Zoom? Are you, is that what you're supposed to be? Your mind just won't shut down. And so it's time to find, connect to your meditative ways to calm yourself. And I'll leave that. And they love you, and they're just giving you lots and lots of love, and they're supporting you. And in fact, I'm seeing one just kind of stroke your back, like one of your angels, just like trying to tell you. I don't know if you feel that sometimes, but it's just that. Right yeah. Just say it. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Just rest. So love you. So leave that with you.
Thank you so much.
Emily, I'm trying to find where you're at. Emily Jones, would you like a message?
I would love one.
Okay, Emily. As I'm touching base with spirit, did you have a cousin or someone around your age that you were pretty close to that's passed on in spirit, a best friend? It felt like a very family energy, someone that you were real tight with. And they could have been gone for a long time. It could have been a childhood cousin. I don't know if you remember or an aunt, someone. It could be just someone from a past life too that's coming in, but they're with you in spirit constantly, and it's almost mirroring your energy. She's kind of telling me she's kind of like your I don't want to say the word, like a darker twin energy that kind of whispers in your ear to do things a little more mischievously and stuff like that. But that's just being playful. It's nothing going to hurt you or anything. She just wants to see you step more outside of your comfort zone. And are you doing things with media and film? Are you like thinking about doing some sort of documentary, like even, I don't know if you've been journaling about the events that have been going on or something, but you have a voice in your age group that you need to start getting it out there, whether it's just sharing what's going on with you emotionally. I'm seeing that you're putting your journal on video and starting to share, because everybody needs to start talking about how we're feeling and how we're dealing with this. And you have a powerful voice. You just need to learn how to use it. You tend to hold things back because you feel like you won't say it eloquently enough, or you'll jumble over your words, or sometimes when you talk, you kind of stand for a little bit. We all do it. Let it go. It's all about now as being our authentic, true selves. No matter how we show up, if we show up with purple hair, if we show up stuttering, if we show up, hiccuping every time we say the word God, whatever. It's about coming forward with our authentic self. And you have a lot of energy and a lot of light to give. I see this golden light around you, and you have this powerful, and all you have to do is connect to source and let them, if you're overthinking it, So so let them speak through you. Open your mouth and allow it, and play with it. Like record yourself a few times on video. Get comfortable watching yourself, and just do it every moment. You know, not every moment of every day, obviously, but do it in the morning before you even brush your teeth or wash your hair. You know, do it, and so you can see different stages of yourself throughout the day, and you can get comfortable with seeing yourself on film, because that's where you're going to be. I don't know if that resonates, but Spirit is very animate with that and wanting you to really start. It's time. They're saying it is time, it is time, it is time. Yeah, yeah. And just start. And they said, once you open that gate, there will be no stopping you. And it's going to be incredible. And you're going to help so many people in your in your realm and your age group that need that support right now. Because you guys are, you guys are the future. You all are all the future. And yeah, and you're going to be a powerful leader of that. So I got goosebumps from head to toe as I said that. So that's not from me. That's divine source shining through. So I just want to leave that with you with love and light.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Absolutely. Do I have one more real quick?
Sure. Go ahead.
Michelle Price, may I come to you? I don't know if it's and I thought it was because of your background, but I'm hearing astrology. Do you study astrology? Are you an astrologer? Because at first I thought it was because of your background on your screen, but then I kept looking at you and it's like, no, it's deeper than that. Have you thought about studying the stars and astrology and alignment? You listen to it most time when you go to YouTube. That's what you're listening to all the time. Okay, because that's one of your purposes too, is to get deeper into that, because you're to connect the micro with the macro, to connect us with the universe and what the universe and the stars and the alignments are trying to tell us. Does that resonate?
Yes, what I do is I've been working with the cosmos. I've been working with the Milky Way and pulling down all the energy so that we can connect it with Earth, and we can connect it with our human beings, and we can all create like little lights all around the world so that we can light up the world. That's what I've been doing.
Okay. Yeah. That's definitely coming through 100%. And are you gathering people now? Because I'm even seeing, as you said that, I saw you gathering people and having them set up in the formations of the signs and what is, so they can really connect in 100% alignment at that moment, and grounding that energy into Earth as we raise the consciousness and the vibration.
Well, here's this gives me goosebumps beyond. I recently received many boxes of Lemurian crystals from Arkansas that were still in the dirt, and this happened at the beginning of quarantine. I had to clean all these rocks, and I charged all these rocks, and I connected all these rocks, opening them up, reactivating them. They all have scrolls, messages on them, and I have been delivering them to people all over the world so that they can connect with the crystalline grid as well, with the stars. So I am about ready to start giving them to my girlfriend that owns a rock shop down in Akron, and so they can be dispersed, because they're ready to go to people, and they're ready to be activated with the right person so that they can connect as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're on it for sure. And will you put your information in the chat? Because I would like one of those.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure some other people on this call, definitely, as you said that, were like, okay, yeah, I want to be involved in this. So yeah. Spirit's excited where you're going with this. And yeah, you're just going to, I just see this light, just, it's like a big light ripple, just like, and it's, and I'm hearing that almost like it's, like as we align and connect, and
it's the light language coming down, and it's the light language being dispersed. And FYI, I am starting a workshop that I am working on and learning with the Egyptians and the shamans. And I'm going to be working with a very close friend in England. She's going to come to the United States, and we're going to teach this class together. Whether or not we're going to be open for her to come here, we'll just do it online. But lots of workshops coming. I am joining a Vortex healing school soon, and a lot more coming. A lot more.
Very cool. Yeah. Share that information. I know, Reverend Jenny, don't we have on our website too, where we can share that information, or even on Facebook chat?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And when is Michelle going to talk? She needs to give a talk at the church. So you
Well,
guys need to connect and do that for sure.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, and we probably need to get
Yeah.
Emily set up too, so she can practice using her voice as well.
Okay,
So,
all right. I'm gonna write it down. Emily Jones, and yep, you got it.
And
All
I have
right.
one more quick one. I'm so sorry. Cindy
you.
Hudson, do you mind me coming to you? Real quick. And this is kind of for everybody too, but it's the world is an illusion, and the veil is thinning for all of us. So we just need to remember that, and we have the power to create and to build brick by brick what the new world's going to look like. And yeah, so that's your message, and everyone else too here on this call. And we all know that. It's just time for us all to step forward in that.
Remember.
Love and peace. Yeah.
Thank you,
Reverend
Debbie. Thank you.
You're welcome. Love you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all those who had messages for us today. I want to thank everybody for their kind attention, and thank you to participants and mediums, and especially to Spirit and the God of your understanding for being with us today and always. For those who might be new with us today, I did see some new faces and names that I didn't recognize. You can learn more about the church at our website, which is www.thechurchoftheangels.net. And any questions you can send to the church email, which you can get through there, or it is thechurchoftheangels@gmail.com. So we'll have one more song, and then we stay with us for our closing prayer, and then after church kibitzing. So let's see here.
Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit, thank you for my wealth. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit, thank you for my wealth. My opulent, my opulent, my opulent wealth. My opulent, my opulent, my opulent wealth. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Oh, thank you. Thank you for this day, Spirit. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Every day I say thank you for this day.
In closing, let us pray. Infinite Spirit, Mother, Father, God, as we move into the new week, We thank you in advance for the guidance and resources you always provide for us to live the fullest expression of your love. We pray for all those affected by the circumstances throughout our world at this time. May we be reminded of the opportunities to reconnect in love to all those around the world, to Mother Earth, to ourselves, and to the universe. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for